Narcissists systematically dismantle your self-image and undermine the beliefs that empower you, while amplifying aspects of yourself that lead to self-sabotage. Their objective is to strip away any positive beliefs you hold. They effectively reprogram your belief system, manipulating it to their advantage. Additionally, narcissists actively seek to damage your reputation among those around you. This pervasive influence can make it appear as though the narcissist has successfully turned everyone against you. Using lies, distortions, and manipulations, they weave a negative narrative about you in the minds of others. This meticulously crafted belief system, once accepted by those around you, begins to shape their perceptions and influences their realities. This process generates a collective united by a narcissistic belief system that functions in reverse. The resulting shared inverted reality further ensnares you, as it shapes how others perceive and engage with you. This collective distortion of reality reinforces the narcissist's dominance and isolates you from support or empathy, intensifying the effects of their manipulation. It may feel like if everyone holds the same belief, it must be true, but you now understand that this collective perception is entirely false. In essence, narcissists operate as malicious social engineers and architects of reality. They construct a structured belief system akin to a religion, where stories become beliefs and beliefs shape the world. This organized belief system mirrors the dynamics of larger religious or societal constructs but operates on a smaller, interpersonal scale, the same fractal pattern of manipulation and control. Narcissists change you from within and manipulate the feedback you get from others to align with what they want you to believe about yourself. This goes beyond mere character assassination. They destroy your true character and replace it with a different one. They plant doubts about everything you do, how you act, make decisions, talk, move, and even sit. They subtly and consistently attack every aspect of your existence, making you scared to move, talk, or do anything. You might not even understand why, and that's their goal, to make you think something is wrong with you so they can further develop that belief in you. Alternatively, they might push you to the point where you snap and start to bully them. This way, they create an abuser for themselves, which is another situation they desire. You end up looking and acting like an abuser, making their job easier. Sometimes, they may be unaware of what they're doing and genuinely believe they are the victim. This is common, especially among people with narcissistic tendencies who are typically unconscious of their actions. This behavior is often seen in groups of people who consider themselves normal, forming a collective narcissism, people in the norms, so-called normal people. You can see these patterns on a larger scale as well, such as in relationships between different countries or religious groups. In these cases, you have collective narcissism, where entire groups or nations display similar behaviors and dynamics. In their eyes, it seems like nothing you do is right. They do this subtly, making it seem like you don't understand boundaries. They see the entire environment as theirs, and you as just part of their territory. They use tactics to erode you, whether consciously or unconsciously. When you live with a narcissist, you might think you share the space equally because you pay equally, but in their mind, it is their space. They believe you are there because they are kind enough to let you be there, and they see you as their servant and cleaning service. They might hide these thoughts, but this is what they believe. Understanding this mindset helps explain their behavior. The same applies when you are friends with a narcissist. You might think you are equals, but you are not. True friendship requires mutual respect and equality, but with a narcissist, you are in their royal kingdom, where they see themselves as superior and you as a lowly creature, a burden to the world. If you do as they please, you are good; if you don't, you are bad. This is a false sense of good and bad. Once you see this, you also see how religions often operate in a similar way. Things stop being surprising when you understand why others don't see it. It is a collective blindness, maintained by scapegoating and sacrificial lamb and other sacrificial rituals, which have always been the foundation of groups and societies. This isn't new, it has just become subtler over time. They see you as abrasive and unintelligent for not understanding their perspective, thinking you are rude and clueless about basic social structures. They feel the need to put you in your place, claiming you don't understand social norms. In a way, they are right, because that's how society often works. However, narcissists are much more overt about these behaviors than most people. The real issue is that you think you are their equal or at least worthy, but they don't see it that way. To them, you only have value if you bring them something. Otherwise, you are not just worthless, but a nuisance they wish would disappear. They believe they have the right to be angry at your existence and to bully you because you don't respect their boundaries. Their territory includes everything, even you. You're not allowed to have personal boundaries. If you try to create a space for yourself, they see it as an intrusion into their territory, of which you are just a mere part, and they feel compelled to destroy it. Understanding this makes you see why they are so angry at you for no reason. This is the reason. You make them work on you, instead just knowing your place in the world. Narcissists will try to erode your boundaries in any way possible, often using concern and worry as a mask. They might spy on you or interrogate you, claiming they're worried about you. It's easy to get angry at someone who is openly intrusive, but when they act like a worried friend, partner, or family member, you tend to lower your guard. You let them get a little closer, and each time, the buffer of your privacy, mind space, identity, and individuality gets smaller. They start to get to you more and more, slowly but surely. They dissolve your energy buffer. They disarm you. They undress you emotionally and mentally. They remove everything that lets you hide or cover yourself. They build trust, love, and loyalty. Once that happens, and you are naked and defenseless because you trusted them, they can be themselves and act the way they truly are. And you cannot believe what monstrosity that is. But you have nowhere to hide, nothing to defend yourself with. They took everything away, making you believe it wasn't needed. Often, they act as if they want to heal your trauma. They might pose as a support system after your narcissistic abuse, making you feel like you are the narcissist for having secrets, not telling them everything, or hiding things from them. This can sound feasible to you, especially if you have experienced narcissistic abuse before. You don't want to be called a narcissist because that's exactly what the narcissist makes you out to be. They invert the dynamic to make you look like the abuser. To protect yourself, you may need to adopt a strategy similar to that of a narcissist by keeping your guard up and avoiding getting caught by them. It's crucial. They will set traps where the only escape is to ghost them, lash out at them, ignore their calls in critical moments, break promises, or take actions that prevent them from attaching to you. It's a calculated setup with no safe way out. They aim to ensnare you. They will spin stories about you, painting you in a negative light, but they manipulate you into behaving that way to keep them at a distance. It may seem like a one-time event to regain your freedom, but if you don't adhere to what you know you should do to stay free, they will use positive reinforcement to lure you deeper into their trap. Once you're ensnared, they will attempt to deepen their hold on you. The only reliable strategy is to maintain no contact with them. If they attempt to trap you, you must evade them at any cost, because the consequences of getting caught even once will always outweigh the alternatives. Once they have fragmented you, they rely on you trying to remain honest, dependable, and true to your word. Your strength lies in upholding these qualities for those who deserve it, while swiftly adjusting your behavior for those who exploit and manipulate. They may fabricate stories about how you treat them differently, but by adapting in this way, you protect yourself from their traps and schemes. This approach helps you avoid being ensnared in their manipulative tactics, while maintaining your integrity with those who deserve your trust. If their attempts to manipulate through concern fail, or if you begin to assert your boundaries, they may accuse you of being unfriendly or unsociable. They might criticize you for not being a good friend, partner, family member, or team member because you resist their expectations. In their view, the relationship title they've given you, such as friend, is akin to a king granting titles. They believe this entitles them to access all your resources, and they view resistance as a betrayal of their expectations. From their perspective, they see themselves as granting you the title of friend and expect certain privileges in return. They will reward you for compliance and punish you for resistance. If you continue to resist or assert your boundaries, they may even banish you from their social circle or manipulate others to ostracize you. This dynamic reveals their entitlement and manipulative tactics to maintain control over relationships. They might criticize you as vain for wanting time for yourself and label everything you enjoy or do as selfish, harmful to others, or simply bad. They attack anything that brings you happiness or relief. Their aim is to dismantle everything that defines you because they want to break you down into pieces. They collect these pieces to fashion a character for themselves, essentially dressing themselves in parts of your identity. They swap roles, energies, and concepts with you, using any tool or tactic to disarm and leave you defenseless. To them, it's all a game where everything and everyone is a tool in their conquest to defend what they see as their territory. Any personal space or identity you assert is seen as an intrusion on theirs, because they believe you are not entitled to have any territory of your own. They perceive themselves as righteously angered by you, believing that you bring all of these situations upon yourself. From their perspective, this is justified. However, as you try to make sense of it from your genuine human perspective and consciousness, you find it difficult to comprehend because it operates on an entirely different level of awareness, what you now understand as narcissistic consciousness. This realization can be challenging to grasp because it involves an awareness of a mindset that manipulates and distorts reality to fit its own needs and desires, at the expense of others. Once you recognize this dynamic, you may struggle to reconcile it with your own values and understanding of interpersonal relationships. Over time, you might notice a disturbing pattern where initially, you were successful in certain aspects of life while they struggled. However, as time progresses, you find yourself struggling or in ruins while they excel in the areas where you once thrived. This trend extends to abilities, both mental and physical, where you begin to struggle with tasks you were once proficient in, while they effortlessly acquire those abilities. Additionally, you might notice a strange occurrence where health issues that were once exclusive to them start affecting you. Conversely, they appear to miraculously recover from these ailments. For instance, with my narcissistic roommate, initially, I enjoyed smooth academic progress while she faced challenges. However, suddenly, I found myself struggling academically while she achieved greater success. It's as if by breaking me down, she gained access to my energies, which she then appropriated for her own benefit in her reality, while I ended up burdened with her issues. Similarly, health issues that were prevalent in their life may inexplicably manifest in yours, often becoming more severe than they were for the narcissist. This could include health conditions that they previously used to garner sympathy or favors from others, despite those issues being truly minor and significantly exaggerated in their case. This pattern was evident in the relationship between my roommate and me as well. They aim to control every aspect of your life, leaving you with no private space or secrets. Their goal is to trap you in a metaphorical glass bottle where they can monitor everything you do. If you attempt to conceal anything from them, they react with intense anger because they view you as their toy or pet to manipulate. Many individuals who have endured deep narcissistic abuse find themselves resorting to lying or even living a life as pathological liars. This behavior isn't intended to manipulate others, but rather develops as a subconscious defense mechanism early in life to protect themselves. By keeping aspects of their lives hidden, they aim to prevent others from trapping and manipulating them. It's important to distinguish this from narcissistic manipulation tactics, which are calculated and deliberate. The pathological lying of someone who has suffered narcissistic abuse serves as a survival strategy, born out of a need to evade harm and maintain autonomy. Unlike narcissists who use manipulation tactics maliciously, individuals using pathological lying as a defense may not even be aware of why they do it or its impact on others. Interestingly, narcissists themselves may have initially developed similar defense mechanisms in response to their environment. However, due to prolonged exposure to narcissistic dynamics and an inability to escape, these protective behaviors may transform into tools for survival that are used with malicious intent, often long before they can recall the reasons behind their behaviors. In essence, while both groups may exhibit similar behaviors like pathological lying, the underlying motivations and outcomes are starkly different. One seeks protection from harm, while the other employs manipulation for control and dominance. While lying may seem immoral, it's important to recognize that it's the narcissistic environment that conditions individuals to be overly truthful and transparent, making them vulnerable to manipulation. Protecting oneself often means maintaining privacy and selectively sharing information. Even with trusted individuals, pouring out everything about oneself can inadvertently invite narcissistic manipulation, transforming previously genuine human connections into tools for exploitation. Thus, safeguarding your privacy and boundaries is crucial. Insisting on maintaining some level of secrecy is not a negative trait but a necessary defense against those who would exploit vulnerability. What may work for some in terms of complete transparency can be detrimental for others who have experienced deep entanglement in narcissistic dynamics. When you're ensnared by a narcissist, every decision revolves around how it will impact them. You stop considering what's best for yourself out of fear of being labeled selfish or causing harm. Gradually, you internalize a belief that you're a terrible person. Walking on eggshells becomes your norm, afraid to shine or achieve anything that might overshadow them or others. At some point, the dynamic reverses. All the behaviors they criticized you for and defined as bad to hold you back, to prevent you from surpassing them or making them feel inferior, they begin to engage in those exact behaviors. Now, they excel where they once belittled you, and they may accuse you of being envious of their newfound success. It's a confusing and jarring experience, not jealousy, but a profound cognitive dissonance. They've taken what was rightfully yours under the sun, convincing you it wasn't worth pursuing or even that it was wrong, all while you sacrificed for their happiness and friendship. This situation evokes a mix of emotions: lack, shock, anger, disbelief, a desire for revenge, confusion, sadness, hurt, and betrayal, all at once. It's not jealousy, but a complex cocktail of feelings manipulated by the narcissist to paint you as excessively jealous, vengeful, or unstable to everyone around, including yourself. They unload their own demons onto you, leaving you burdened and possessed by their issues. In doing so, they find relief and maintain an outward appearance of being genuine humans. They rely on the genuine humanity of others to bear their sins and demons through constant scapegoating and sacrificial rituals. Those who carry these burdens into the world often face their own karmic consequences, experiencing difficulties and setbacks while the narcissist seems to evade accountability and even succeeds. This dynamic explains why those who have been abused by narcissists may struggle for years or even their entire lives, while the narcissist appears to thrive. It's crucial to understand that the narcissist's apparent success is not due to being a deserving person, but rather because they offload their karma onto their scapegoats. This process allows them to escape consequences and thrive, while those they've abused bear the weight of their actions, leading to continued challenges and misfortune.